Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It is me, Lasty here. Welcome today to a brand new episode of the FIFA 23 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 181. Today, once again, powered by my awesome sponsor over at Elgato. Now, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you know it by now, right? I use all of the Elgato product line to help create my content every single day. You know, I'm talking on a microphone, the Wave DX, which is literally on the low profile Elgato mic arm. We've got two key lights, brightening up a green screen, removes the background from me. I've got wave panels on the wall, I've got stream decks on my desk. I've got it all right? And it helps me create this awesome content. So if you're an aspiring content creator, look no further than down below in the description to a link to my Elgato profile page. Thank you. And if you enjoyed today, do me a small favor and hit the thumbs up button. I'd love to see 1,500, 2,000 likes on this video. That'd be brilliant. So before we get started, actually, going to start by going up a few levels in the season pass. We're then going to do marquee matchups. There's a player of the month SBC I'm going to complete, and then we're going to get stuck into some FUT Champs games. But the question I wanted to ask you, and it's sort of related to the title and thumbnail of this video, is who do you think are the most common players in each position that you see in FUT Champs every week? You know, what's the most common goalkeeper? Centre-backs, who do you see all the time? Midfielders, wingers, strikers. I want to know, if you could put like a starting 11 together, who would be the most common, like, overpowered crazy squads that you see, like the meta players, I guess, that you see all the time in FUT Champs. And we'll get through a few of those as we see some of the gameplay today, because, well, no doubt there will be a few of those players popping up in my opponent's teams. So we get started with marquee matchups, get that done, no problem. Maybe I had to go and buy one or two players, but I generally think it was pretty easy. But the rewards, like the pack rewards that it offers out, again, not too spectacular. I think it was a premium gold players pack as the best reward. We do get an inform from the very first pack, so that's already better than last week's marquee matchups where I made literally like break even. It wasn't great. Silver popping up means that we're not going to necessarily get anything good that's gold in this pack right here. But yeah, if I was to pick like a few players that you always see, I think the two common ones are going to be some version of Mbappe at this stage. You see like all the time, and Jarzinho, because that SBC was so very popular. Those two players would have to be the staple of, if I go into a FUT Champs match and I come up against them, I'm just like, oh god, here we go again. I got to defend these two ridiculous players on this game for another 90 or 120 minutes, and it sometimes does not go very well because they're both extremely capable. And if if your opponent knows what they're doing, you're in for a little bit of a torrid time. So the marquee matchups rewards, apart from that inform at the start, were pretty meh, to be honest. But this was obviously, we know that there's nothing really in packs. The whole promo, I like it. I like the promo. It's going to be a lot of grinding, which I unfortunately won't be able to do a whole bunch of as we get into next week, as I'm away on some travel, which sucks a little bit, but it is what it is. And yeah, it means that I really want that Edison. He's like the last player to get, but I don't think I'm going to be about for it. So that kind of sucks. But we should be able to get the first couple of days players done and stuff. But we'll focus on the weekend league and whatnot first. We unlock ourselves Julian Brandt, who won Player of the Month 2 months in a row in the Bundesliga. He's obviously doing quite well. And let's face it, with a card like this already, you know, he's obviously doing well enough that he'll most likely get a team of the season. Probably could end up being a really, really good card in the next couple of months. Looking forward to seeing what comes of like team of the season and stuff, because it can't be like, what, a month and a bit away? Would it be? I don't know. But looking forward to it nonetheless. So let's go into some champs. Last week we had a really good run after going 0-2. We went 8-2. So I won 8 in a row. And I thought, maybe losing the first couple of games every week is a good plan. But the opponent I matched up in game 1 here just wasn't really that capable. I'll be honest. I was pretty comfortable playing this one. And I got a 3-0 rage quit in the first half. So I think that kind of says it all. I just out-teamed him and kind of outplayed, really. So got a nice, easy win in game number 1. Now, that, to me, doesn't necessarily... it's good for motivation, but I also think, I'm going to struggle. And then I come up against this mega team in team number 2, or game number 2, and I was like, well, this is a loss, isn't it? Would you believe my luck? When was the last time you think I got a free win on FUT Champs? It's been forever. And this guy was obviously done. So thank you, 2 Meter Peter, and your crazy, crazy squad. I greatly appreciate the free victory. I wasn't looking forward to playing that one if he was legit playing, but he'd obviously finished his games already, and I am extremely grateful for that. So appreciate you. So that's 2-0. Into game number 3 then. Another sort of strong-looking squad. Not necessarily featuring those players that you see all the time. Maybe Capdevilla at left back. Capdevilla, however you like to pronounce it, is one of those you see all the time left backs. He might be one of those that sort of go with our question of the episode today of who is the most common team that you see. But like a front 3 of George Best and Ronaldinho, and actually that Hugo Sanchez, was it the Team of the Year one? Is a very common player to come up against because really good SBC. And I think it's actually still out. Is it still out? If it's still out, then there's a chance that he's going to become even more common because the power curve, especially with even like this promo that's out now, Footballers, hasn't really gone up, has it? The old power curve hasn't really increased. And those Team of the Year icons and stuff that you can still get with all of the fodder in the SBCs and stuff, then, they're still as good. Probably not probably the best players on the game, as well as that Bale. Bale's got to be up there as probably like the one main super sub that you come up against every game. Excuse me. Apologies. So I lose 4-1 when I had a 4.8 XG to his 3.5. I think I inflated that in the first half with a couple of corners, to be honest. Like, he was a very good player. I can't really argue. And I think I probably did deserve the loss, but it just felt a little bit harsh knowing that I had such a high XG at some point during that game. But we start the next game pretty strong. Didier Drogba, who I class as a 99 rated perfect striker on this game, puts me 1-0 up. Gomez then knocks it through to the boy again, who sticks it in again. It's just what he does. There's actually been a couple of times where I've used him this weekend and thought, hey, how come you've missed that shot? You normally score them all the time. So maybe Drogba wasn't firing on all cylinders this weekend for me, but you'll still see him score a ton of goals because, even a 75% Drogba is on this game is still going to absolutely smash it, isn't he? Let's face it. So I get another 3-0 rage quit, and that takes me to 3-1. Try and keep an eye on the record as we're going through here. Next game, that's a squad. That's actually a really nice squad. Not your generic normal one, but seeing the likes of like Ruben Diaz and stuff in this team, who just gives a penalty away, by the way, is kind of scary. Solid player. But I go 1-0 up. I've been banging my penalties down the middle lately. Don't remember that though. If you come up against me and give a penalty away, don't remember that I do that. Just let me score. Thank you. And the power shot from Mario Gomez just, I think, nearly broke the net. It went straight through the keeper into the back of the net, and that's going to be enough to get my opponent to rage quit. Lovely stuff. So that is now what? 4-1. Really good start, Quite near perfection. Not quite, but very, very close. And then look at this for a team. I have no idea why you need to be using a lone R9 in that squad right there. Especially when I literally played against the guy and realised that he's actually pretty good. He knows how to use his team. Not quite sure why you would be using the lone R9. Maybe just to have a little bit of fun. If so, fair enough. Whatever, mate. But yeah, I tend to to not love it when I come up against like top tier players that are just on loan. But hey, that's more on EA. This year they've been giving us a lot of loan players for the top tier cards, which people are going to use. Let's face it. So no major complaints. I deserve to lose that one. When it was 3-0 so early on, I thought, oh, I'll try and get back into it. Got 1 goal back, and then he just went and made it 4-1. So I thought, I'm going to get out of here. And then my next opponent, I think Sergio Ramos is definitely one that we can put down as one of the more common players you come up against. Obviously, he's got a Jarzinho as well. I'm not sure if it was the 90 or the 88. But yeah, another super common one. But Butragueno and Eto'o and stuff, they're not ones that you see all the time. So I think we're getting to a point where... Zidane as well. Zizou is one of those players. Petr Cech is one of those players. Jarzinho, smaller... Yeah, you know what? We're getting an idea of what the more common players are that you come up against in this game. I saw quite a few Mario Gomez as well, as he scores a goal right there for me. I think just because it was such a nicely priced SBC, and around the time that he came out, there wasn't a huge amount of other stuff that came out with it. So kind of an easy one to pick for people to go ahead and do. I didn't notice any players there. I missed the attack that he's got to see if they were any commoners in there. But Zizou manages to put me 1-0 up. Cruyff, who now has an SBC, of course. I wonder how many people are going to do that. Is 91 mid Cruyff about to become a little bit of a Jarzinho, where you see him all the time and people start moaning about him? I've been using him for ages, obviously. I packed him a while ago. And he is very good. But I think he's coming in at over 2 mil for the SBC, which is about double what Jarzinho came in at, and therefore might be classed as a little bit too expensive when people probably already have the Jarzinho or the Mbappe or whatever. Yeah, Mbappe and Zidane and all sorts in this one, Vieira. This was a solid squad, actually. This is a really good player who, after 6 minutes, I realised I am getting nowhere near this one. So J21V squad, yeah, just better than me, no doubt about it. That's 10 games done. I think that actually took me like 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is not very long, you know. I like the first 10 games of Champs. We can then also go ahead and turbo speed run through a few of these little objectives that we've completed. I love it at the start of a season. I just play a few games of FUT Champs and I got like 10,000 XP or something. It's great. So we go up a few levels, and I have to say props to EA for the retro themed like stadium themes and stuff. I wish they'd have thrown a couple of retro kits in there, and I wish the level 15 and the level 30 players would have had some sort of, retro, maybe old school FIFA enjoyable players vibe to them. That would have been a really cool like theme for the season. But yeah, I have to take the stadium themes and tifos as a pretty good dub. At least they're football related, of course. Which is all I can really ask for. I just don't like it when it's like some wizard with an icy background. It makes no sense to football and FIFA, does it? Atal, my boy, is now 89 rated, and I think has an all right tie for the quarters or the semis, whatever it is, which is brilliant. I think he could go quite far in the Conference League and get himself a rather nice card. And also, of course, Diaby got upgraded and has an easy tie, I believe, in the next one. So it's likely that we're going to get a 91 Diaby with 3 new traits. So, yeah, Europa League and Conference League for a couple of the players that I've got is looking pretty good. But yeah, thank you so much for watching today. If you've enjoyed, do me a small favour and hit the thumbs up button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Cheers. And follow me on social media. The links are down below. Have a good one, everyone. Take it easy. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace.